The Taliban picked the perfect time. 300 hours, guards changing shift, everyone asleep, except the cook preparing breakfast. They didn't know the 280-pound chef flipping eggs was formerly Sergeant Major Mike Reaper Chen, Delta Force's most lethal operator. They learned. They died. Forward Operating Base Chapman, Afghanistan. October 23, 2019. 3 years. That's how long Mike Chen had been Cookie. Just Cookie. The fat, friendly guy who made the best omelets in Coast Province. Nobody asked why a Chinese-American chef was cooking at a remote FOB. Nobody wondered about the tattoos hidden under his sleeves. Nobody noticed he never talked about his past. That was the point. Mike had arrived in 2016, showed up with basic paperwork, civilian contractor, kitchen duty. The soldiers loved him immediately. His bacon was perfect. His pancakes legendary. His 4 a.m. coffee could wake the dead. "Cookie, my man," Private Jackson would say every morning. "What's good today?" "Everything's good, brother. Everything." Mike weighed 280 pounds now, deliberately. In Delta, he'd been 195. Pure muscle, pure weapon. The weight was camouflage, the fat was armor, against memories, against nightmares, against himself. Mosul 2014 had broken him, not physically, mentally. 147 confirmed kills in 6 months. He stopped counting faces. They counted him. Every night, every dream. "You're done, Mike," the psychologist had said. "Honorable discharge, full pension, go home." "I don't have a home." "Then find one." He found a kitchen at FOB Chapman, where nobody knew Mike Chen had been the deadliest operator in JSOC history, where he could flip eggs instead of taking lives. For 3 years, it worked. October 23rd, 0258 hours. Mike was alone in the kitchen, prepping for the 0500 breakfast rush. 200 soldiers to feed, bacon sizzling, eggs ready, coffee brewing. The first sign was the dog stopping barking. Mike froze, spatula in hand. Listened. In Delta, they called it the silence before chaos, when even animals sense death coming. The lights went out. Mike didn't panic. Reached under the prep table. The Glock 19 was exactly where he'd taped it 3 years ago. Checked weekly. Never needed. Until now. The explosion came from the north wall. RPG, then automatic fire. AK-47s. Multiple shooters. Mike moved to the kitchen window, counted muzzle flashes. 8. No, 9. Moving in formation. Trained. This wasn't random. This was planned. The guard tower was silent. They'd taken it first. Smart. Barracks were 200 meters away. Soldiers scrambling, confused, half asleep. The armory was on the other side of base. The Taliban had positioned themselves perfectly. Cut off weapons access. Mike watched them advance. Watched soldiers die, young kids. Jackson took 2 rounds, fell. Something shifted in Mike's brain, like a switch. Cookie died. The Reaper woke up. He dropped the spatula, picked up a kitchen knife, then another, then 4 more. Muscle memory doesn't forget. 3 years of pancakes couldn't erase 15 years of killing. Mike moved through the kitchen door. Into darkness. The first Taliban fighter was covering the left flank, watching the barracks. Never saw Mike. The knife went through his throat. Silent. Mike took his AK-47. The second was 20 meters away, setting up an RPG. Mike shot him twice. Center mass. Took the RPG. The third and fourth were together, moving toward the communications building. Mike used the RPG. Both disappeared in the explosion. That got their attention. "Contact left," someone screamed in Pashto. Mike understood, spoke 7 languages. Another Delta skill. 3 fighters turned toward him. Fired. Mike was already moving. Fat doesn't mean slow when muscle memory takes over. He rolled behind concrete barriers, counted to 3. Rose, 3 shots, 3 headshots, 1.7 seconds total. Delta standards, 2 seconds for 3 targets. He was still under. 2 left. Number 3. 1 in the tower. Sniper. Mike heard the rifle crack, felt the round pass his ear. Close, too close. He couldn't get an angle on the tower. But the kitchen? Mike ran, not away, toward serpentine pattern, random intervals. The sniper fired 4 times, missed 4 times. Mike crashed through the kitchen door, grabbed his special pan, cast iron, 12 inches, seasoned for 3 years, and the propane tank from the stove. Kicked open the back door, the one facing the tower, threw the propane tank, hard, high. The sniper tracked it. Natural instinct, track movement. Mike stepped out, threw the pan like a frisbee, 12 inches of cast iron, 3 pounds, 40 miles per hour. It hit the sniper in the face. He fell backward, out of the tower. 30-foot drop, 1 shooter left. But this one was different. Older, calm, professional. "Salam, brother," the man called in accented English. "You're not regular army." Mike stayed silent. Circled left. "I'm Hakeem. Haqqani Network." "You?" Mike said nothing. Located him by voice. Behind the fuel depot. "You killed 8 of my men in 4 minutes. That's impressive." Mike found his angle. Through the fence, under the truck. Difficult shot, not impossible. "Were you Special Forces? SEALs? No? Something else. Something worse." Mike fired. 3 rounds, under the truck, into Hakeem's ankles. Hakeem fell, screaming. Mike walked over, kicked the AK away. "Delta?" Hakeem gasped through pain. Mike said nothing. "I knew it. The way you moved. We studied you, in the camps." Sirens now, the base waking up fully. Soldiers spreading out, secure in perimeter. "What's your name, brother?" Mike looked down at him. "Cookie." Hakeem laughed, coughed blood. "Cookie, the Delta Force cook. Allah has a sense of humor." The quick reaction force arrived. Captain Morrison leading, stopped dead seeing Mike standing over Hakeem. "Cookie, what the... How did..." Mike handed him the Glock. "Kitchen's closed. I need to prep lunch." He walked away. Back to his kitchen. Past 8 bodies. Past shocked soldiers. Private Jackson was alive. Medics working on him. He'd make it. Mike went inside, washed his hands, started new bacon. The other batch had burned. 30 minutes later, Base Commander Colonel Hayes entered the kitchen. "Want to tell me what happened?" "They interrupted breakfast prep." Mike Chen, Sergeant Major, Delta Force, retired 2014. Mike flipped an egg. "That was classified." I just called JSOC. They said, and I quote, "If Reaper's cooking, let him cook." "Then let me cook." "Mosul, you were in Mosul." "I was." "The compound, 47 fighters, 1 operator. That was you." Mike plated the eggs, added bacon, hash browns, slid it across. "Eat. It's getting cold." Hayes took a bite. "Why cooking?" "Can't kill anyone with pancakes." "You just killed 9 Taliban with kitchen equipment." "They interrupted breakfast." Hayes ate quietly. Then, "Want to go back?" "Delta would take you." "No." "Why?" Mike finally looked at him. Really looked. Hayes saw his eyes. Understood. "How many total?" 431. Tonight makes 440. Jesus. He stopped listening after Mosul. Hayes finished eating. Stood up. "You stayin'?" "Kitchen needs a cook. It has one, the best apparently." I just make eggs, Colonel. Right, eggs. Hayes left. Mike continued cooking. Soldiers started arriving for breakfast. Word had spread. They looked at Cookie differently now. Respect. Fear. Awe. Jackson rolled in on a wheelchair, bandaged but alive. Cookie, they're saying you... Bacon or sausage? They're saying you killed them all. Both then. You need protein. Cookie ... Mike looked at him. Soft eyes. Gentle. Cookie's eyes. Not Reaper's. I just cook, brother, that's all. Jackson nodded. Understood. Some things don't need discussing. 6 months later. Mike still cooked. Still made perfect bacon. Still served breakfast at 0500. But things had changed. A sign appeared outside the kitchen. Cookie's Place. Serving freedom. Since 2016. Soldiers came from other FOBs just to meet him. The legend. The Delta Cook. Mike hated it, but stayed. Because Jackson needed good food to recover. Because the unit needed normal. Because he needed purpose. One morning, a young sergeant approached. Nervous. Cookie? Sergeant Major? Cookie's fine. Were you really Delta? Mike flipped a pancake. Perfect flip. I'm a cook? But before? Before doesn't matter. Pancakes matter. You want blueberries? Yes. Good choice. The sergeant hesitated. My brother wants to try out, for Delta. Any advice? Mike was quiet. Plated the pancakes. Finally spoke. Tell him to learn cooking. Cooking? Yeah. When you're done killing, you need something else. Something that creates instead of destroys. Tell him to learn cooking. The sergeant nodded. Left with his pancakes, Mike went back to his griddle. 200 mouths to feed. Simple, clean. No nightmares in a kitchen. Then the announcement came over the loudspeaker. Attention, Chapman. Possible perimeter breach. All personnel alert. Mike reached under the prep table. Checked the Glock. Still there, still ready. Because Cookie was a cook. But Reaper was eternal. And breakfast was at 0500, no matter what. The end came on a Tuesday. Normal day. Mike was making his famous Tuesday tacos when Colonel Hayes walked in. Orders from JSOC. I'm retired. They know they want you home, stateside, teaching. Teaching what? Killing? Cooking, at Fort Bragg. Teaching operators how to have a life after, how to transition. Mike stopped chopping. Serious? Delta wants a cooking school, for operators. By operators. You'd run it. Mike thought about it. Teaching killers to create. Teaching reapers to be cookies. One condition. Name it. Jackson comes, as my assistant. He can't cook. He'll learn. They all will. 3 months later, Fort Bragg. Mike Chen's tactical kitchen, where warriors learn to live. First class, 20 Delta operators, the deadliest men on Earth, learning to make soufflés. Gentlemen, Mike said, you know how to kill. I'm going to teach you how to live. First lesson, eggs. One operator raised his hand. Chef, is it true? Mosul? The FOB attack? Mike cracked an egg. Perfect form. What's true is this egg needs 3 minutes. What's true is you're here to learn. What's true is that killing is easy, living is hard, cooking helps. He looked at them. Warriors pretending to be students, like he'd pretended to be a cook. Some of you will struggle. Nightmares, ghosts, 440 faces. Cooking won't fix that, but it helps. Creating helps. Feeding people helps. Another hand. How many years until it stops? The dreams? Mike smiled. Small, sad, honest. I'll let you know. He turned to the stove. 20 future cookies watching. Now, eggs. The perfect egg requires patience. Something Delta never taught. Watch. And 20 killers learn to create. 1 egg at a time. Jackson walked in, on crutches now, improving. Chef Mike, President's on the phone. Tell him I'm cooking. He says it's important. So is breakfast. Jackson smiled. I'll tell him to call back. After breakfast. Always after breakfast. Because Mike Chen was Cookie now, just Cookie. And that was enough, most days.